Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Monday, it's the 10th of January 2022. Giants are back in the office and we've got mods again on console. Well, mods again generally because they've been on their break. I'm going to start off with the Giants dump. They have dumped a few more mods on us again, which again, in my opinion, personally should have been in the base game, but it is what it is. And you're going to be really, really impressed with the slot counts on these. Do I sound like I'm being sarcastic? Probably. And then I'm going to move on to the mods from other modders. I'm going to start with this. I haven't got anything else set up at the moment, just the one from Giants. I haven't had a game crash yet, but then I haven't come across a mod yet with lots of options. Oh, fingers crossed, I'm going to record this bit first. So, they have given us the AEBI TT281 Plus. We have got the Pöttinger, that's right, yeah, the Pöttinger NOVAALPIN 261 mower. That's a 2.6 metre mower. They've given us the, they've given us the Rigitrac SKH150. We've got the Rigitrac SKH75. We have got the Kverneland Turbo 8000T cultivator. We have got the Pöttinger SYNKRO 3020 cultivator, and then we have got the Pöttinger Terradisc 3001 disc harrow. We'll have a look at them in the store. Hopefully I don't have a game crash. If I do, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then we'll see them operate. If you played an FS19, you've seen them before, but you may not have done. So let's have a look. First up then, under, where was it? Small tractors. The AEBI TT281 Plus. It's 31 slots. Honestly, you can't make this up. 31 slots. I haven't checked to see what it was in FS19, but it wasn't 31 slots. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. We've got the option of Mitas or Trelleborgs for the tyres. Under Mitas, we've got standard, we've got wides, and we've got twins. Under Trelleborg, we don't have any options other than what you get there. So let's put it on twins if we want to. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette. And then we've got the license plate option. You can change should you wish to do so and have a bit of a fiddle around with that. Those are the options on there. We'll have a look at the options for all of these. So the Rigitrac SKH150. 47 slots. I didn't say what the download was for that. Bearing in mind as well, my opinion, again, just my opinion, these should have been in the base game. To obviously have these now, you're going to have to use memory space in the mod hub. But, you know, the AEBI is 13.86 megabytes. The Rigitrac SKH150 is 23.29 megabytes. We'll have a look at the Rigitrac SKH75 in just a moment. That's 26.9 megabytes. So, yeah, this one, 47 slots, 116 grand for the base model. We've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKTs, Vredestein, Nokians, and back again. On pretty much all of these, we've got standard and a twin option. I'm pretty sure on each of these, yeah, standard and a twin. I did double check. It's the other one that's a little bit different, the SKH75. And then BKTs. I do like the tread on the BKTs on that one. That's sort of a bit more, a deeper tread, I think. I was going to say a bit more knobbly, but that's not really technical, is it? The Vredesteins, twins. And then the Nokians, we've got the standard. We've got the standard 2, and then we've got a communal for your options on tyres. There's a front loader attacher. You can have the quick, the Hauer, or no. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette, which is new. The original versions didn't have that as an option. I just think you've got a lot of modders out there making modded tractors and vehicles and equipment and machinery. They're adding colour options. They're doing all these different things. I still don't understand why Giant's slot counts are so high for stuff they're putting in. And then we've got the license plate option, front or both. No, so rear, front, both. Anyway, yeah, the license plate option. You may not have seen it before, but if you haven't, we can have back only, no plate, front and back. Change the colour option, and then we can have a fiddle around. That's still not working perfectly, I have found. Those are the options on there. The Rigitrac SK75, buckle in. 63 slots for that one. 82,500 to buy for the base model. We've got the option of Michelin, Trelleborg, Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, and back again. No knock-in option on those. We have got standard and twin on the Michelin. On the Trelleborg, we've got standard, twins, and then twin 2. You see the second twin is narrower on that one, and then you've got one that's the same width. And then Continental, I think standard and twin. Mitas, standard, narrow, twin, twin. That's how I'm going to refer to it. Vredestein, standard and twin. And then back to Michelin. Front loader attacher, yes. Sorry, quick, Hauer. No, hang on. There's no Hauer option. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder why they've missed that off. Quick or no. Main colour option. Anything on that palette. And then license plate option as well. Yeah, I mean, you can be the sort of judge of how you feel about those, but they look great, don't get me wrong. They really do, and they sound good as well. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. So then we'll move our attention to these. Under Tools and Cultivators. Ignore the ones to the left. We'll get onto those in a moment when I move on to the other mods. So the Kverneland Turbo 8000T. That is a shallow cultivator, so it shouldn't leave any stones. It is 7.7 meters wide. It is 16.11 megabytes to download, 22 slots. There are options available. I thought that was going to crash then. There are options available. You get it just like that. Then the Pöttinger SYNKRO 3020, 14 grand for the base model. That is 6 slots, 3 meters wide, requires 90 horsepower. No options available on that. And then the other one is under disc arrows that way. The Pöttinger Terradisc 3001, 16 grand, also 3 meters wide, requires 95 horsepower to pull. That one is 11 slots. No options available. You get it just like that. And I just realized I missed the mower. If we go to the mowers, the Pöttinger NOVAALPIN 261, that was 11 slots for a 2.6 meter mower. There are no options available. You get it just like that. So that's all of them in their areas, so to speak. Let's jump into the AEBI. Now we do have the option on this to change our steering mode. At the moment we're on all-wheel steer. Zoom in a little bit. We're on all-wheel steer. We can have it front-wheel steer. We can have it rear-wheel steer. We can have it crab steer, left and right, back to all-wheel steer, horn, lights, interior, neat and tidy, and you would expect it to be. We're going to hook up to the NOVAALPIN, unhook, and it does pretty much what you'd expect it to. So there we go. That's those two. The Rigitrac SKH150. Let's start it up. Horn. Hang on. There we go. Beacon. Oh, I didn't do the beacon on the other one. Sorry about that. Lights. This is the same, but we've got options for all-wheel steer, front-wheel steer, crab left, crab right. Back to all-wheel. Interior. So yeah, I probably could do with the light behind me so you can see the interior a bit better. It's got quite a throaty sound to it. They are interesting looking beasts. We'll hook up to the Kverneland and do that while we're here. The 8000T. Multitasking on the mods here. I thought I'd get the Giants ones out of the way, like I say, get those out of the way first, then we'll move on to the other ones. 7.7 metres. Shallow cultivator, so you'll get no stones. Really? I don't... It's definitely a shallow cultivator, you're not supposed to get stones. Especially big stones like that, it's not supposed to happen. Honestly, this is what annoys me when things like this happen. It shouldn't be doing that. The shallow cultivator, not supposed to get stones. The normal cultivators, yes, you get stones. And then if you do ploughs and subsoilers, you get bigger stones. So I'm not quite sure why that's happening. It could be the map that's causing that, maybe. Right. Sorry, I should have shown you. There you go. There's the beacon, just so you can see it working. The SKH75. I mean, the exhaust shroud on that, I mean, it looks amazing, don't get me wrong, it looks incredible. Just think it's an incredibly high slot count at 63. We'll hook up to the Pöttinger SYNKRO, 3 metre cultivator, and then there's the disc harrow next to it, we'll do that as well. So we're getting stones with that as well. Very big stones. Boulders, I think. Again, nicely detailed inside. Let's disconnect from that. And then the last one is the Pöttinger Terradisc 3001. I think I used, did I use this one or this, the 150? Might have been this one. On, mine's gone blank. One of my Let's Plays. Anyway, the Terradisc. Right, so that's the Giants ones out of the way. Some weird responses to that. Yeah. What I'm going to do now is hopefully move on to, fingers crossed, the rest of the mods. Let me just save this just in case. Continuing on then, this is going to be a kind of ad hoc, let's do it as we go kind of thing. The first one up, we've got the Government Drain. This is by Kassa Farms. It's 0.62 megabytes download. It should be under here, but where I haven't actually looked yet. I wonder if it'd be under tools. Nope. It's not a silo, is it? Oh, it could be under sell points. There we go, the Government Drain. 3 slots. Place on your farm to get rid of any unwanted liquids in this Government Drain with a small fee, of course, but disposing of water is free. Now, the premise behind this was, and the previous version we had an FS19, wasn't by Kassa Farms, I don't think. If you had one tanker and you were doing water and milk with that tanker, and you had water left in it, but then you want to transport milk, you need somewhere to dispose of your water. Obviously, there are places you can store it and that kind of thing, but you can do storylines where your milk is soured, or you've got something you've got to get rid of because it's contaminated, or whatever you want to do along those lines. So there's a whole load of stuff you can get rid of in there: milk and digestate, fuel, liquid fertilizer, water, slurry, and herbicide. Some of those things you have to be careful of where you are, because there are laws regarding what you can and cannot get rid of. So what we'll do is 100 to place. There we go. And that's what it looks like. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and grab a tanker. I'm going to put something in it, and then we'll dispose of it just to see it being used. the government drain? Bear with me just a second. As I said, this is going to be recorded in various different stints. I've got all the placeable bits out, I think, for the mods for today, hopefully. And I've turned on the interactive zone markers as well, so you can see. Right, I think, what did I put in this? Liquid fertilizer, I think. Right. So the drain. It says there's a fee. I don't know what that fee is going to be. Water is free. You can dump your water, no problem at all. But there's a fee for disposing of, and it's, you know, because you're disposing of it environmentally friendly, rather than just dumping it in the local river or pond, or just, you know, wherever you feel like getting rid of it. I have no idea what the fee's going to be, so we're about to find out, aren't we? 8,000 litres of liquid fertiliser. Why you would be dumping your liquid fertiliser, I don't know. But there might be a reason. It could be contaminated with something. You know, you might be doing a storyline or something. I'm just showing you that it's here, and this is what it does. 2,880 to dispose of 8,000 litres. So it's not cheap. I mean, I can totally understand why the water thing, switching between water and milk, might not be a bad idea. You know, as far as storylines go, I'm sure there's all sorts of things that people will be able to think of. And my mind's kind of racing now, thinking, okay, how could you implement that into a story, so to speak? But anyway, that's it. That's the government drain by Kassa Farms. Next up, we have got the Placeable refill tanks by ModPassion. These are 2.31 megabytes download. I didn't write down what the... Oh, yes, I did. There's a one slot each. Sorry, I wrote it down below. So we've got seed, we have got solid fertiliser, we've got liquid fertiliser, and we've got herbicide. As you can see from the points here, we've got a putting in and a taking out point. And then each one of these has also got a point in the middle, so you can refill the silo as if you've had something delivered by someone else and it's refilled for you. So you can do it either way around, whichever you want. And the same with a lot of these tanks now. You can fill it up in various different increments. It's entirely up to you, or you can fill it completely. Price is about, it's a little bit over, isn't it? I'm just thinking, for 10,000 litres, it works out about 1,000 for 1,000. Just under 1,000 for 1,000 for your seed. So if I wanted to, I can fill up by that. Bottom right says I've got seeds in there, 10,000 litres. If I grab that, which I've just now put herbicide in, if I go to the end one, I should get the trigger up. Kind of. That really doesn't look like that, does it? What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive around and try and come at it so I'm only on one of the triggers. I think it's because there's multiple triggers there. Mind you, I've put them quite close to each other, so I'm not sure whether this one will work as well, but it's really not liking that, is it? That's why I make the videos, so I can sort of test it. There could be a couple of reasons why. It could be because the triggers are right on top of each other. They're quite close. And it could be because I put the tanks quite close to each other. But then, if you were putting these in your yard, you would want your tanks to be fairly close to each other. You wouldn't want them spread out all over the place, maybe. Okay. But anyway, it will... I'll say it will. There's 270 litres of herbicide gone into there. But you can do the same with each of those. Placing them, you will find them under buildings, under silos. There they all are. 7,500 for the seed, 8,500 for the solid fertiliser. Well, for each of the other ones. Each one holds 10,000 litres, and they are one slot each anyway, so it's one slot more to place them. Those are by ModPassion. Next, we've got Powerful Spotlights Pack. This is by Vanquish081. 1.13 megabytes download. These are one slot each on console. We have got an automatic 360 degree spotlight. The lights are pointed in such an angle that they will do 360 degree lighting. That's automatic, and then we've got a manual version here. We can turn the light switches on and you can see 360 degree light. Lovely. These you will find also under your build mode, but these are under decoration and lights, right at the very end there, we've got 360 big automatic, 2,150 one slot, and then we've got the 360 big manual, 1,750, because you've got to go around and turn them all on. It's a little bit cheaper. The automatic one obviously has got more gubbins in it to work automatically. Also one slot, and then obviously placing them. If you want to place another one, let's zoom out a bit, wherever you want. As you can see, very handy, not too expensive, nice and low on the slot count. Turn that off. Have a few of those around in the yard. I can see them being very handy indeed. So that's by Vanquish 081. Next we've got the Silos Multi-Fruit by OmaTana. Now we had these on FS19. They were 10 million litres, and they were a bit bigger as well on 19. On 22 these are 5 million litre capacity. They don't take liquids. I tried to put herbicide into it and it wouldn't take it, and that's not to say it won't take any others, but as far as I can tell it's only solids that goes into this. Yeah, it does say wooden farm silos and multiple fruit types. Here you can't only store wheat, potatoes or hay, but nearly everything you want to store on a farm. That's interesting that it says that. They're not too expensive either, don't take up a huge amount of room. 5 milliliter multi-fruit, that's pretty cool. In build mode, under silos, probably saw them just now when we were looking at the other ones. We have got a wooden one, we've got a red, sort of red barn look, and then there's the white one there. They're 5 slots each, that goes down to 1. 30 grand as well for 5 million litre capacity. You can't go wrong with that. That's pretty good. I'm not sure whether or not, I know a lot of the silos on FS22 have been so that rather than having 5 million litres of each crop, it's 5 million litres total. And obviously that being 5 million litres, for me to test that would take hours to fill that up with all various different things. But that said, 5 million litres, generally speaking, you're going to struggle to fill them up anyway. And at 30 grand, even if you had to place 2 or 3, or, you know, it wouldn't be too much of a problem. So I'm not too, personally, not too worried about whether or not it's 5 million litres of each or combined, because even if it's combined, 5 million litres, pretty impressive stuff. Did I say what's the download? 4.28 megabytes, sorry, and by OmaTana. Which brings me on to the next mod, which is also by OmaTana, and I love this. Well, I say love these. This is a really cool pack. This is the Hobo Farmhouse pack, and it depends how hobo you want to go with this, and I think it's brilliant. This is 4.79 megabytes download. Like I said, by OmaTana. We have got our sleep trigger just there. Works the same as all the other sleep triggers. You can set your time from 5 AM right the way through to 9 AM for the following day. But I like, as far as storytelling, a storytelling device or getting yourself going, that is brilliant. But under build mode again, we'll go into buildings down across to farmhouses. We have got from OmaTana the tiny house, which is 7 slots and 1 grand. Now obviously I can only place 1 sleep trigger at a time, but it's right there. We've got the tent, which is only 50 quid, or pounds, euros, or dollars. That one is 3 slots, which then goes down to 1. If you want to go full hobo, there's a bench. Just grab yourself some newspapers, cover yourself over. That's also 50 and 2 slots. And then we've got the sleep doormat, which is a firm favourite. If you want to place a building somewhere and then just put your sleep trigger in front of it, they work absolutely brilliant. That's only 5 as well and 1 slot. So 4 sleep triggers there, varying degrees of hobo, however you want to go, like I say. But I like that as an option. So those are by OmaTana. I'm going to move on to hopefully putting out the next set of stuff, and I'll see you in just a moment with those. Next up then, we have got Liquid Barrels by erShaba VSR Modding Sir. 6.48 megabytes download. These are 2 slots on console, and then once you've used them, they disappear, and obviously you gain your slots back. We have got water, we've got liquid fertilizer, we've got herbicide, we've got diesel fuel, and we've got silage additive as well. Now, as far as prices go, these are pretty good. I mean, water you can get free at certain water sources, but if you place the water collection points, you obviously have to pay. It's 1,500 litres, I think that's 150, so pretty cheap. These, I think, work out about half the price, and the silage additive as well. I'm pretty sure the silage additive is a ridiculous amount of money. These you'll find under pallets, and we go to our barrels. So yeah, 150 for 1,500 litres of water, 1,200 for 1,500 litres of liquid fertiliser. So that works out at 400 for 500 litres. Is that right? 400 for 500 litres. If we go across to here, that's 3,200. That works out. It's cheaper. I was trying to do the maths in my head. It's a lot cheaper. The same with the herbicides. If we go along to the, where are we? The bond silage additive, that starts off 60 litres. Is that it? 60 litres for 2,990. Is that correct? If that's the case, then this is insane. Because that says 4,400, which is more expensive, but that's 1,500 litres for 4,400. That's a no-brainer. Why? I know this silage additive. I know when I watch Tom Pemberton, he pays a ridiculous amount of money when they do their collecting, when the forage harvester come and they put the additive into the forage harvester. It's a lot of money, so that's a no-brainer. That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, prices are cheaper anyway. Diesel fuel, 1,500 litres for 1,050. They can be picked up with pallet forks, transported around, put wherever you want them to once you've done that. But yeah, I think not a bad price actually for all of those. That was by erShaba VSR Modding Sir. Moving on from there, we've got this, the Tensionbelt support by Dor Schmid, 12.93 megabytes download. Now I haven't put a slot count on these because obviously with FS22, flatbeds, low loaders, that kind of thing, we can now say strap down, but you can lock down vehicles. But what Dor Schmid has done with the Tensionbelt support pack is all of the base game tools as it stands at the time of recording this video, which is obviously Monday the 10th of January, all the base game tools are now strap downable as additionals. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If we go to our tools, we go to our front loaders. So our front loader tools are all here, but then we get to a point where they will then duplicate here. So all the duplicates of those tools all have a strap across them, which means they can all be put onto a flatbed low loader, trailer with straps, and you can strap them down for transport. Now that goes the same with wheel loaders. We go across, you've got all the wheel loader tools, telehandler tools, and skid steer tools. Now the good thing about that as well, I mean vehicles lock down now, which they didn't on FS19. So what you could do on FS19 when you had some of these, you could actually put one of these on the front of whatever vehicle you were transporting as well. You could strap that down on the front, which would in effect hold the vehicle, but the vehicles kind of hold down as well. But if you just want to transport these, if you're taking something out to a farm or again, storyline or whatever you want to do, these will now strap down for transport and then be used wherever you want to. Like I say, I didn't put a slot count down because there's so many different implements. I think, as far as I'm aware, all the options are the same on them. I think there's some extra colour options, if I think I read that correctly. Yeah, there's some base, tool colour choices, which some of the base game ones don't have. So if we just pick that, for example, and main colour, we've got a few more choices for base colours. But again, there's so many tools and bits to go through. There might be something you use a lot and decide actually I'd rather have it strap downable or change the colour of it. So yeah, Tensionbelt support by Dor Schmid for front loader, wheel loader, telehandler and skid steer loader tools. I don't think there was any others. Tensionbelt, wheel loader, front loader, telehandler, skid steer. Yeah, thought I'd better check that. Fantastic, so that's Tensionbelt support. Next, we have got the Field Creator Pack by TF2020 Mods, 0.27 megabytes download. Again, this is something along a similar vein, you will see momentarily. So what I have here is a cultivator. Now it looks a little bit different to the standard in-game one because there are some colour options available. I went for this kind of, I don't know why I went for the chrome, I just thought it looked rather cool. If we go to our cultivators, disc harrows and power harrows, again this affects or duplicates the standard in-game ones. Now there's something weird about this, I'm not too sure. So all of these are the standard in-game cultivators, and then we get across to here. So now it says at the bottom there, Field Creator Mod. So all of the base game cultivators, disc harrows and power harrows are now duplicated. They're duplicated to allow you to create fields. Now normally you can only create fields with ploughs, subsoilers, I think the spaders do, but that means you can buy a cultivator and create fields with it. Now it does say it's advisable to rent the machine only. So if you are going to use the cultivators to create fields, now bearing in mind this one here, the compactor mat 1570, is a 15.7 meter cultivator. That means if you go all the way across, and you see all the duplicates here, if we go all the way across until we get to that, for example, this one here, this machine allows you to create new fields. That effectively becomes a plough, a 15.7 meter plough. Pretty cool. But what I don't understand is why there are duplicates of each. Because we've got the base game version already, I think it might be colour options with this as well. So the first one of each of these is the option to create fields. The second one doesn't give you the option to create fields, but it does give you the option to change the colours and rim colours and stuff, which a lot of the base game ones don't. Obviously, as you can see there, that's not the standard compactor mat 1570, and we can change the colour of that to, you know, all sorts of things. We go to main colour. Like I said, there's the chrome matte. I don't know why I picked that before. So yeah, that'll be the options between the two. Is you've just got more options on that than the standard in-game one, but these are all duplicated. So you can create fields or just have one with more options of the standard version. And the same is with the disc arrows. If we go across all the base game versions, and then we'll get to the end of the road there, then we start on the Field Creator Pack and all of the versions there, which again will also allow you to create fields. And the same with the power harrows as well. We've got duplicates of those too to allow you to create fields. Now it does say, unlike previously, you can hire a worker, but only if you are extending a field. If you're creating a completely new field, you need to set it on allow create fields, but you have to do it yourself. If you are extending a field, you can hire a worker. However, it won't turn around when it gets to the end. It will just keep going. So you kind of have to keep an eye on it. It will give you a nice straight line. That's the reason for doing it. You may be asking, well, why would you hire a worker? Because often it's difficult to get a straight line, but you do have to be part on the field that already exists to extend it. I hope I'm making sense. We hop into the vehicle, press L1. Top left, it says L1 and triangle, allow create fields. If I allow create fields now, and I hire a worker, it will extend my field because I'm still partly on the field that already exists, but it gives me a really nice straight line. Now the thing I've got to be careful of is when I get to the end now, if I completely ignore it and go off to do something else, this worker, and I'm going to leave it to do it, will just keep going. Happily off into the sunset. Now that's interesting because that's not what it said. Well, there you go. That's not what it said on the... Why does nothing ever work properly? Not for me anyway. This only works if the machine overlaps an existing field to the left or right to a small extent. Once on the move, it literally knows no limits and always drives straight ahead and draws aisles in the landscape. Therefore, you should never let it drive alone and deactivate it at the desired turning point and turn it around manually. I wonder if surely that can't create fields with a worker off. Oh, we'll try it. I don't think it will because it needs to be on a field. No. I can create a field with it. I mean, that's the beauty of it as well, is that you can now use various different width cultivators to create fields as well. That's strange then, because it did say it will just keep going, but for me it didn't. I suppose if you've got fields that are joining or... But you know, like I say, it will give you a nice straight line. I'm just barely on the field. Drop it down, and we can extend our fields out with a nice straight edge. Why is that stopping now? As I say, that seems to be... Okay, I'm puzzled by that. Maybe I wasn't quite on the edge properly. So, that's the Field Creator Pack. Loads of duplicates as the standard base game cultivators, disc harrows and power harrows that will allow you to create your own fields or extend fields out. You may find yours will go tonking across the map without caring, but that seemed to work quite well there, I thought. Let's see if it will stop at the end of this one. No more wobbly edged fields. Yeah, that's alright. And then obviously if you don't want one that allows you to create fields, there are a whole raft of them which now give you new options with regard to colour choices and things like that. So yeah, very nice indeed. The Field Creator Pack. Next up, and this is a biggie. How long have we been wanting this on console? That does say chick on the number plate. AEBI chick. We have got chicken transport trailers by Fernie133. These are 6.26 megabytes download, 4 slots for the smaller one. This is the Berkman Big Chicken Master. And then we've got the Wilson Trailer Silver Chicken Star. You can see there's a load of chickens in there already. This smaller one will transport 2 horses or 30 chickens. Now that's roosters and chickens combined, or just chickens, or just roosters, it's up to you. This one will take 180 chickens, as you can see, right through the gap there. We've got a few roosters in there too. Double stacked, 180. But it does mean you don't have to pay anymore to have your chickens transported. It does mean when you get them to a point where you're ready to sell them on, you can take them off to sell them and you don't lose any money and that kind of thing, which is very cool indeed. These you will find under, where are we? Animals, animal transport. So the Big Chicken Master, Western WCF, 16 grand. Where are we? There we go. Now that does say 2 pieces, but that is chicken transport. It will do chickens. And that one does say chicken transport trailers mod. I might have to check that. You know what I'm going to do? Let's get another one of those and we'll double check it. Options to change the main colour, wheel setups. Quite a few options for colour choice on that one, but also this one because it can be opened. You will see very nice and neatly lined up. We have chickens and we're not afraid to transport them. Let's take them over. I have got a chicken pen, I have got a chicken pen, a load of chicken pens over here with me. And I will check the other one. This does say it will take 2 horses still, but I'll check the other one because if it will take everything as well as the chickens, then you're only going to need 1 trailer then, not multiple ones. But the Mod Hub website does say just 180 chickens, so it won't hurt to double check, will it? There we go. Our chickens have been transported out of the trailer into the pen. I know they all change once they're in here, obviously. It would be cool if you could have all the different colours maybe in the trailer as well, but that's just the way it goes. So we can now transport chickens. Just bear with me a minute. I'm going to go and check to see if we can put other animals into the west. I should have checked that first, in all honesty. Bear with me just a second. So the answer to that question is yes, you can. As long as you've got the animal husbandry buildings in place. I've got 12 cows on board, and it is the I haven't got the wrong one. That definitely says bottom right, Wilson Trailers, Silver Chicken Star. So it won't just do chickens, it will do all the other animal types, but chickens as well. That's good to know. I can then transport those cows off. There we go, as you can see, cows are in there. Fantastic, very happy with that. That'll work really well. And I like the fact we've now got the ability to transport chickens. Maybe we'll get other types of vehicles coming out from other people, or possibly some more chicken transport trailers from Fernie133. But that's cool to have. I like that a lot. Brings me on to the last couple of mods. Now, these two are both tractors. I don't know how this is going to go, so fingers crossed on this. We have got the Agco 1000 series by Ahran Modding, and the Stara Max Pack by Adams Kong. As you can see, everything's gone. Several game crashes later. It is definitely any mod that's got multiple options. For me, just I've uninstalled the game, I've reinstalled the game. I never had this problem on FS19. I don't get it. Anyway, let's try and get these done, shall we? We've got the Stara Max Pack by Adams Kong, 39.33 megabytes download. We've got the ST Max 105, and well, weirdly, it says the ST Max 180. On the website, it says the ST Max 150, and in the options for it, it says ST Max 150. So it says 180 on there. So we'll go with that. It is 8 slots for the smaller one. It's 10 slots for the larger one. I'm going to drive them first and start them up. Horn. No beacon on this one. Lights. Nice looking tractor. No options for doors or windows. Interior, nice and tidy. Mirrors are working fine. Very happy with that. Nice bit of lean. I do think the tractors on 22 do lean a lot more, and I like that. It gives it a slightly more immersive feel, I think, when we're turning. That's the 105. The 180. Obviously, I've got double options on this. I'm just really scared of opening the menu. There's no beacon on this one either. But horn, pretty much the same. Lights off. Interior, again, neat and tidy. It's interesting that we didn't get any Stara stuff base game. But they've obviously been allowed, they must have the license for it, for this mod to have been allowed in. So I'm puzzled as to why. Hang on, I'm just thinking, have Giants, did they do the Stara and I just not put it in? Yeah, it's puzzling. Anyway, do I check the menu? Because it was this one. Weirdly, this one over here by Ahran Modding. Look, the baked bean returns. It's got far more options, but didn't cause many problems. So what I'll do at this point. You know what, at this point words fail me. I am on the verge of using language I don't ever use on my channel, ever, on my videos. This is ridiculous. Giants, you need to sort this out. Honestly, and I don't want anybody commenting saying, oh, you need to change your settings to this, you need to do this, turn off your PlayStation, do a complete wipe of it. No, it's not that. Something is wrong and something needs fixing. I never ever had this problem. I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mod reviews, never had this problem. I've recorded everything else in little chunks to make sure this works, and this is getting ridiculous now. If anyone else is having the same problem, stick it in the comments. Just put yes in the comments. I'm just really curious on this. I'm going to jump now and try to redo the Agco 1000 series by Ahran Modding. 16.05 megabytes download, 17 slots on console. Right, that's better than I have done previously. So we've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, Miters, BKT or knock-in. On the trailer board we've got standard, Vero grip, wheel weights, wides, wide and weights, narrows, narrow rear twin, narrow twins, I like that as an option, twins, twin US, back to standard. We can have the Agco Fence series, the Challenger series, the Gens Machinery series, or back to that, so we can mix and match colours of hubs and rims and that kind of stuff. We can have without fender, sorry, with fender, without front fender with forest cage, front fender without front fender and forest cage, back to standard. We have got a 396 horsepower, 435 horsepower, 476 horsepower, 517 horsepower on the Fendt 1050, an absolute beastie. I have to say, I do like it. Now, obviously, we've got all the other tyre options. We've got Michelin Vero grip, weights, wides, wide and weights, narrows, rear, narrows all round, twins, twin US. I think it's the same. Oh no, some of this is different. Vero grip, wheel weights, wides, wide and weights, back to standard. BKTs, standard, wheel weights, twins, back to standard. Knock-ins, just communal, no other options on there, and then back to trailer board. So if we carry on back down then, we've got main colour option. We can choose anything on the palette here, so you can mix and match with the various different options it gives you. The preset Agco Fence series, the Challenger, or the Gens Machinery, or the standard, or you can just pick what you like. I've always liked the Fendt Petrol Blue. I think that's a nice colour. That does the bulk of it, but not the cab. Design colour is the cab, like so. Rim colour, we can pick from anything on there. So that's a bit of a weird one. That looks a bit better. You can leave it on blue, on red if you want to. And then we've got license plate option. I went for baked bean because obviously I wanted to go for the orange one, because that's the one I had previously by Ahran modding when it first came out on FS19, which looks a little bit like that. But I'm going to change it and put that on because I think that looks absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to put a forestry cage on. Why not? Let's lease it. Let's hop in it. Sorry about the Staras. I'll try again at the end to see if I can get one of them, both of them, to look at the options. But at the moment, unfortunately not. This is a really nice looking tractor. What I do like, well, obviously we've got the seat suspension inside, really nicely detailed in here. Got a bit of a flicker on the mirrors there, but we can get rid of that. Love the beacons. Horn. Lighting's pretty good all round. Take the beacons off, let's swing it around so we can see it in the light a little bit better. We do have opening rear window. Zoom in a little bit. We've got opening front left door. That's all on L1 and right stick. R1 and right stick up and down, just the roof. Bit of ventilation there. L1, R1, no options other than change cruise control, that kind of thing. Like I say, the interior is nicely detailed. I'm hoping this is going to work. If you haven't watched any of my Let's Plays recently, but you're only watching the mod reviews, if you get the flickering lights like this, mirrors, this was Christopher that sent me this. If you go into our menu and go down to something that has no options, for example, a bag, just click on that, for example. I don't need to buy it, just click on it, then come back out again. And your mirrors will stop flickering. Don't know how it works, don't know why it works, but it does work. Don't start flickering again. But yeah, very nice indeed. Let's hop out and have a look around it, because it really does look great. The return of the baked bean. I have to say, the slot count on that is 17. I did say 16.5 megabytes, didn't I? So megabyte download's not too bad. Slot count's amazing. When you think the slot count on that, with all those options, is 17, the Rigitrac SKH that we did earlier was 63 slots. There's just no, I don't know. So, I'm going to try this one more time. Let's go. We want medium tractors. I'm going to do this one. We'll go to the medium. The Stara. It says, like I say, it says max 150 there, but it's the 180. This is not the modders. This isn't the problem with the modder. This isn't the mod that's a problem. I know lots of people messaged me before when this was happening, say it's this mod, it's this mod. It just seems to be mods generally. Any mod that has a lot of options. I don't know what it is. It seems to go into the menu and it seems to trip out while it's trying to load stuff up. And it doesn't seem to be any one specific mod that's causing it. I don't know what's causing it. So fingers crossed. Okay. Did we go through the options on this one? I can't remember now. Don't think we did we? Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitres, BKT, Vredestein, back to Nokian. Under Nokian, we've got wide 2, communal. Trelleborg, we've got standard, wheel weight, wide and weights, narrows, rear twins, back to standard. Michelin, wides, wide and weights, wide 2 and weights, narrows, back to, well, it says standard, it's wides. Continental again starts with wides, wide and weights, wide 2 and weights, narrows, back to the standard wides. Same with Mitres, wides, wide and weights, wide 2 and weights, but that has no narrow option on it. BKT, wide and weights, wide 2 and weights, back to the wide. Vredestein, I think it's the same options, I think, pretty much on there. And then the knock-ins we looked at. Then the option of number plate, should you wish to change the number plate on there. Of course, you are more than welcome. We've already seen them both drive around. So those are the options on that. I'll come out of there. And there. Let's go to small tractors again. Please work. Please work. The 105. Whew, okay. Now this one, I mean, this one's got less options than any of the other stuff I've looked at, which baffles me. Why? But this is the one that caused the problem before. Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitres, Vredestein, Knock-ins. Knock-ins, no option, just the communal. Trelleborg, we've got standard, weights, wides, wide and weights, narrows. The rear twins puts an extra little narrow one on there. Twins, off again. Michelin, no options other than that. Continental, we've got standard, wides, narrows, back to standard. Mitres, no option on those. Vredestein, standard, wides, narrows, back to standard. And knock-ins we've already seen. And then there's the option of the number plates. Okay, that's everything. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We still don't have, did I mention that? We still haven't got the disabled camera collision from Giants. I was really hoping we were going to get that after the break. Maybe it will come at some point. And I would imagine they've got quite a lot of mods they're working their way through. We should get a load more. I just, if anyone from Giants is watching, they might well be working on the problem. They may be working on another update and this may get solved. I can't be the only person experiencing this. I can't be. And it's driving me to distraction. But that's the mods for today, Monday the 10th of January, new year, new mods. I hope you found this useful in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.